Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we are beginning a series of 12 reviews for beers from Market Company, and I'm going to introduce Market briefly, and then we will get on to the beers. There are 12 beers that we're going to look at in order, and in general I'm trying to set them up in order of strength, alcoholic strength, no other reason than just to set up some kind of order for them. Market is a brewery in Nagoya, Japan, which is generally regarded as the third largest city in Japan after Tokyo and Osaka. And Nagoya did not have much of a beer scene for quite a while, and they have kind of caught up now. But certainly Market is the premier brewer in that part of Japan. They opened in 2014, and there was a lot of buzz surrounding the development and opening of this brewery. The brewer, whose name is Kachi Makoto, he had worked for Kisoji Brewery in Nagano, and later they added Nakanishi-san, who had been at Ise Kadoya in Ise, Mie Prefecture. So two well-experienced brewers. Kachi studied in Canada and got involved with brewing there, and Nakanishi, I'm not sure where he worked before that, but they're both very well-experienced brewers. The name Market is, their original brew house was in the Yanagibashi Market in Nagoya, so they decided to call it Market Brewing after that. They opened in 2014, and in 2014 they were chosen as the best new brewer in Japan by RateBeer.com. So they came out of the gate, just with all cylinders firing, and produced a lot of interesting beers. People were talking about them. It seemed like they kind of rested on their laurels for a while, and I think maybe they're coming back with stronger stuff. They started with a 1,000 liter system, and then in 2018 built a new brewery with a 30 kiloliter system, so quite a bit bigger. And they started canning 1 year ago from today, which is we're now in March, and they began canning, and the 12 can set, which we're going to look at, is actually an anniversary set of the 1 year canning date when they first started canning. So and today we're going to take a quick look at a session IPA, and this one is all right. And here we are at the 12th beer from Market Brewing, and that is this one. It is called Meitei King, and this one is a big one. It's a monster. It is an Imperial Stout, and it clocks in at 13% alcohol and has 81.65 IBU. The Market brewers like to specify their IBUs, international bittering units, to the second decimal point. So 81.65. All right, and this one has 14 ratings on RateBeer. It has an average score of 4.02, which is pretty high. That is out of 5. A 96 percentile for all beers, but only 70 percentile for its style, Imperial Stout. And you can probably guess that there are a lot of really top-notch Imperial Stouts that are crowding the category. And so this one is only at a 70 percentile. On their website, they mentioned that this is the 6th member of their chess series, and I assume they're talking about the king element in their chess series. Meitei is an expression that has the idea of drunkenness or intoxication. So the Drunk King, perhaps. I've had this once, and that was at a friend's Christmas party a few years ago. He ordered a keg of it from the brewery, and it was sitting out on the deck of his house in the hills of Kyoto, along with several other kegs of beer. And this is the one that people kept going back to until it was completely done, or as we say, the keg was kicked. And it was an astounding beer that evening, and I assume it still will be in the can. Well, so again, MarketBrewing Meitei King, 13% Imperial Stout. Let's try this one. Wow. Okay, it is, of course, very dark brown, opaque. Cannot see through it, and it has a maybe almost a finger of rather thick, a little bit sloppy, dark brown head. Not tan even, but brown. Yeah. Aroma. Whoa. Right away you get a hit with alcohol fumes. This one has berries, chocolate, very strong roast. It's quite phenolic, something like old leather, slightly burnt character, or charred wood. Massive chocolate, berries, something like red berries, marshmallow sweetness, and it's actually kind of wine-like. The alcohol is really high here. You feel it. You feel it going down for sure. The body is, I say, medium heavy. It's not as heavy as many Imperial Stouts tend to be. Not as thick or viscous as many Imperial Stouts, but it's heavy for sure. A little bit hot on the tongue. Quite an astounding mixture of flavors. The hops in this are Simcoe, Citra, and Mosaic. And this is quite a beer. It's a bit much to take in. The flavor mixture is quite something. The aroma is something too. I think perhaps the alcohol is just maybe a little bit too high. But again, I wouldn't know what to tone it down to. I certainly wouldn't put it up any higher than it is right now. I mean, 13% is really getting up there. It's quite a beer. This one you certainly should try if you've never had it, if you happen to see it on tap in Japan somewhere, or you can go online onto the Wine Market website, and I think you can probably buy some of this in a mixed six-pack or something. Okay, so give this one a go. Meitei King. It's quite an impressive entry into the roster of beers that Wine Market makes. And we are done with the series of Wine Market beers. I'm kind of sad to see it go. I enjoyed every single one of the 12 beers that we looked at, and this is quite a fitting one to end with. Again, Wine Market Brewing, Meitei King, 13% Imperial Stout. Give it a go. All right, and next time we're going to move on to a different series of beers. We're going to go to the USA and look at some beers from AleSmith in San Diego. I hope you'll tune in, and please subscribe to the channel and leave me a message if you'd like to talk about Wine Market beers or other Japanese beers or beers in general. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you.